Well, welcome to our channel Mispronounced Adventures. My name is Alex and welcome to Arctic Season Round 4. And I've definitely found the snow, so at the minute I'm pretty far north in the Arctic Circle. But let's go back to the beginning and how I got here. Quick catch up on the trip so far. I left the UK about 72 hours ago and broke down in Germany where I needed a new alternator, which delayed me for half a day, and I've now carried on and I'm about halfway up Sweden. Well, good morning. I thought I could see some Sweden immediately in some daylight. There is snow, it's just melting. I think it's about 4 degrees. And it is going to be quite warm for a while. Oh well, I'm sure it'll cool down. Time to get the engine started and drive north, I think. Voltage on my OBD2 reader has dropped down to 11.8 again. This is 11.7. This is not ideal. It must just be smart alternator related, being the van trying to be smart. When I've got the main beams off, it was dropping down low. Then I just flicked the beams onto the headlights onto on, and it went up from 11.8 to 13.2. It's now staying there. Well, I don't really know what's up with it. Maybe I'm just looking out for things and seeing a bit worse. I'm sort of surprised. I've done a lot of driving, so I probably think the starter battery is charged and doesn't need to basically have the alternator on. Although I've had this device on the dashboard for a couple of years, and whilst I often see when it's in the smart regen mode, it's 12.6 or so on, or 12. It's currently going to like 11.87, which is a bit concerning. So it seems like the alternator's working, it's just a smart alternator being a bit funny. I guess the other variable is I put a new starter battery in. I guess could be one of the reasons. I guess my old starter battery was about 6 years old, so I guess it wasn't probably keeping charge very well, so the van thought it always had to be charging it, whilst this new one is probably charging up quite well, and the van keeps thinking it can turn itself off. So yeah, it's just smart regen doing smart regen stuff. Quick stop to get some washer fluid because I'm absolutely going through it, and a hot dog, because this slushy stuff absolutely coats all surfaces. Another fuel stop, another hot dog. A couple more hours to do today. Although I feel this is going to last 5 minutes, I can hardly see out my mirrors. But lots of service stations have convenient bucket washers in place, so I can get all that off. Definitely an issue when it's mild and everything melts. You just get so much dirty water everywhere. Even in the winter though, these are heated when they're outside, so they don't freeze over. There we go. Significantly better, I can actually see now. Onwards. Fairly certain normally that's all frozen, but it's now quite a lot of open water. Well, that's certainly pretty. I think that's some of the polar clouds. I can't remember what they're called. High up. Certainly not a bad view. Right, whilst that is a wonderful sunset, let's carry on. And let's go. Right, well, I've turned off the E4 and we're doing what we do every winter. I go visit the Wardens of the North, Ash and Marie of Lost in Europe. So heading over to them, and as usual I've brought the tribute to Ash, which is a bottle of Talisker whiskey, and I paid him a couple of bits and bobs for him to bring from the UK. So he's told me that with the warm weather the road conditions have been a bit horrible, but he has just told me they've, I think, sanded today, so hopefully it's not too slippy. Temperature though is still 2 degrees, which is not ideal. But yeah, it'd be nice to hang out with them again and have a day off driving tomorrow. At least going inland it's got a bit colder again. It's now -2. Forgot, it also means I can use my big lights.
Turn left.
Doesn't feel amazing under wheel, that's for sure. There's the man himself. Hello, sir. Right, parcel's dropped off. As usual, I don't film bits when I'm catching up with friends, so we'll catch up tomorrow. But one thing Ash did say is yesterday's weather was horrific and that people were just abandoning lorries on the main road to get here because it was so wet. At least now it's -3, so it's a bit grippier and not too bad to drive on. But I'll catch you in the morning. And for anyone who doesn't already follow Ash and Marie, check out Lost in Europe on YouTube or his Patreon. But you probably already know about Ash because who doesn't? First proper night and I've got the Aurora. Lovely few hours catching up with Ash. Marie's currently away at work. A little bit Northern Lights, first Northern Lights of the trip. And I think the coldest Nordic temperature so far on this trip at -5. Still plenty to go. But I'll see you in the morning. Ooh. That's it, doesn't look massively wintry. This is all frozen now. So there was a bit of a thaw coming today, so I'm probably going to stay here so the roads aren't slippy and then carry on up north tomorrow. But for now, let's go see Ash and Marie. Quick morning brew of Ash, and he wanted to drive into town to go pick up a parcel and also see how slippy the roads were. As you can see, quite. It's raining. Wonderful. So this is the issue then with below 0 temperatures and rain. Yeah. It freezes immediately.
It's still like -5, isn't it? So, -4. It's very weird. I don't understand how it can rain.
Slippy, slippy. Parcel successfully retrieved, but still slippy even with Ash's studded tyres. He's gonna do it. Right, I got to go a bit of work call, but we survived our trip. But yeah, the rain has just turned everything into sheet ice. It's awful. So we do a work call and then pop in to see Ash and Marie. Apart from it, wouldn't be a trip to Ash and Marie's if it didn't involve problem solving. So we're going into the village to help Eric with one of his tractors, which isn't working. It might be an electrical fault, so I'm trying to skate back to the van without getting hurt to get a multimeter. So this is what we're trying to fix. It's a 4-ton loader and it only starts at the moment if you shove a screwdriver between 2 contacts. We might have found the electrical issue. The starter solenoid? Yeah, the solenoid for the starter, right?
Some kind of solenoid.
Yeah, for the starter motor. Oh! What's that all about? Eric kindly provided payment for services rendered in liquid form, and I rebuilt solenoid which had corroded internally, and then eventually we found that it was affecting an additional security system which killed the engine. After that, it worked, which is just as well as it was put to use fairly soon afterwards, gritting all the nearby roads.
Oh, look at that wheel spin.
Yeah. Yeah. After Eric had gritted the roads, Ash and I went downstairs into the workshop to solder back together some Guitar Hero controllers for the Xbox, and then we proceeded to play Xbox for a couple of hours before I went to bed.
Oh, good morning. Looking from the cameras, it looks melty. What's going on over here? Environmental. 6 degrees. Welcome to the Nordic winter. It's 6 degrees. Yesterday was really slippy when we went for a drive, even in Ash's car with studs, but it's now been so warm it might have actually just melted all the way through the road, so you might have asphalt. So Ash just texted me that we're going to go for a drive and see what the conditions are, and maybe I'll leave today, maybe I won't.
Well, there's some sun, but now that's a lot more grass. That's a lot more grass than yesterday. Might be all right driving out. There might not be any ice. It'll just be grass I'm on. Can't believe how melted everything is.
Arctic chickens.
Gravel showing through now.
Yeah. Quick trip down the road to find the reindeer. Right, let's see if we can actually get out. I could have happily stayed there for days. Those two individuals are awesome human beings. Which is why I make the effort to come see them every year. And chat to them throughout the year as well. But I have a deadline to meet, which I've not mentioned yet why, and I'm not going to. But I need to get north for a few things. So that's why I'm leaving today. And let's see how far we get. My van is currently telling me the temperature is 9 degrees. At least it means I should make it off this mode back to the main road quite easily. Right, something I do need to fix is the smart charging from my smart alternator, because it's causing me issues again. It's dropped down to, well, it was dropped down to 12 because it thinks the new starter battery is fine and healthy and charged, which it is, but it's not being high enough for my auxiliary loads to run. So I've just had to stick my lights on from automatic to actually on, because that then tells the ECU it needs to make something to power the light. But it's not 14 volts, it's 13. But I've, after a bit of Googling and searching, there seems to be, in the body and upfitter's manual for this Transit, there is a couple different ways you can disable smart charging and enable conventional charging, and that's, I think, specifically for motorhomes, because motorhomes seem to have that. The motorhome, when this is a motorhome base, this vehicle does that. I presume a few other, I guess like maybe tipper trucks or something, they don't want the smart charging. I've got a part code, so I'm going to go to a few Fords and see if I can just buy one, because that would be very, very convenient. My main source of power on these trips is the engine. Unsurprisingly, there's not a lot of solar around. Well, there is in a minute, but normally the panel's iced over, or there's no sun. So I need to go, hopefully, find this part and its particular plug. Quick stop in one of the places I've got to visit in Sweden, Willys, to buy my favourite snack, cheese and bacon sausages. Right, we're at a Ford. Let's see if they stock this part, or can you send me some more information about this part I want. Right, progress to a degree. Took a little bit longer than I expected. So the very nice man who I was working at the parts department has printed me a picture of what I need. This is an extension cable for the 8-way interface port in this driving seat. However, this cable will take a week to be delivered and would cost £129. Or 1700 SEK, which is a bit steep. However, all I really need it to do is so I can bridge two wires. There's a smart regenerative charging pin, which is a signal pin, and ground, and if they are put together, then that disables smart charging. It's not meant to be permanent, it's meant to be a switch. So there's a little project. Not gonna do that today. Or I just buy a third-party version of this, which might be considerably easier and cheaper, because it's about £20 on eBay in the UK for the aftermarket version of that cable. Well, there we go.
Car ahead, moving.
No, it's not. Progress on fixing this smart charging issue for being too smart, because I put a new starter battery in. But let's actually continue the drive. Very faint northern lights whilst driving at the minute. Well, I think I'm going to call that a day. It's 0 degrees. It's a bit frosty outside. I've driven most of what I want to do. Still got about 9 hours worth of driving to go, but I've got 3 days to do it, so that's fine. So I think I have an early night at 11:30 for once. See you in the morning. And good morning. It's still 4 degrees and it doesn't look very wintry. But let's carry on. Right, just more driving north really.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Just crossing into Finland, into Reno at the border. Really, there's a shop I want to go visit here to go buy something.
That is, Finnish Customs followed to come see me and chat to me. They're very nice. As soon as I told them it was a holiday, they were fine.
Right, it's a couple hours later. Not done much this afternoon, I had a work call to do. And, well, the reason I popped into Finland was just so I could pop into this shop and Motornet to buy these things. These are little clips for making a grill cover, because I forgot my grill cover this year. Well, I say forgot, I guess it's kind of fell apart at the end of last year, so I need to make a new one, but I wanted to do it with some of the proper clips. So these two shops had them, and I couldn't find them in Sweden, or I didn't know the correct name for them. So got them here, and I'm going to carry up the Finnish border now to carry on north. Definitely doesn't look very wintry. Get another day or two and it starts to get cold again. 500 meters to the Arctic Circle. Wait, did I just drive past the Arctic Circle? My mistake. I thought it was one of the ones with the big signs and pullovers, but I don't think it was. So, well, we're in the Arctic Circle, and it's still 4 degrees.
Turn right onto Iloksanti, then take the first left.
Right, I think that's enough for the day. About half 8. This is a park up I've used multiple times in previous years. I think I had the park up I had minus 37 in last winter. Yeah, I think it's time to turn the engine off, give the van a rest, and cook some food.
Well, good morning. It is, I think, the end of the first week. I haven't really done that much apart from drive north, but this always happens, so it's time to carry on north to, well, get to where I need to go because of the deadline. Oh, there's some of those special polar clouds. They're pretty pretty, aren't they? Anyway, let's get driving.
Well, the roads are actually looking Arctic-y. The temperature is below 0. It's -1. I think the same time last year was when I hit my minus 37. So quite a long way to go to reach the minus 40 target.
Sometimes you're on the road looking at the scenery. Sometimes you're in the scenery looking at the road.
And that's going to be the end of the episode here. And next episode should be an interesting one. But thank you much for joining me so far. If you're new here, consider subscribing and checking out the older Arctic seasons or the rest of this one. Or some of the other things I do. Other ways you could help support the channel, look at the links in the description below. I work for Rover, which is a UK lithium battery company. I use their batteries in my van, but I also do their electrical system customer design consultations, which is a service you can book. I'm also a brand ambassador for Autotherm for their diesel heaters and hot water heaters, and a variety of other links, including Amazon and so on. But really, I just want to make content which you guys will enjoy. So thank you much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.